Hi and Assalamualaikum. On this video, me and my groupmate will present about fundamental financial accounting and reporting of a sole proprietorship business. This video was prepared for our lecturer Sir Sazali bin Saharuddin. My group is represented by 4 members. First is myself, Nur Shakira Farahin, followed by Adila Putri, Putri Nabila and Nur Balki. Now, we will go through about the topic that we will present. First, we will go through the table of content. In this slide, we will talk about business background, business characteristic, classification of item in business, the recording process, and lastly, strengths and weaknesses in the business. Hi, my name is Nur Shakira Farahin and I will explain about background business of Lemak Manis Cafe by Fantastic Food and Beverage. First thing first, this cafe was owned by Puan Hazimah binti Ahmad with the help and support of her husband. This cafe was built in 2000. Firstly, Lemak Manis Cafe was opened in Aeon Bandaraya Melaka before it was moved to Plaza Usahawan Arcade Mara in Jalan Hang Tuah. Puan Hazimah used her own fund, almost 130,000 ringgit Malaysia, to opening these 2 cafes. Puan Hazimah spent almost 17,000 ringgit Malaysia for opening the cafe in Aeon Bandaraya Melaka. Before it was moved to Plaza Usahawan Arcade Mara, Puan Hazimah almost spent 16,000 ringgit Malaysia for opening the cafe there, including the renovation for the cafe. The owner of Lemak Manis Cafe, which is Puan Hazimah, used her own recipe in making their dessert. This cafe was popular with a frizzy ice jelly, cendol gula merah and ice kacang. Lemak Manis Cafe served many types of dessert. Puan Hazimah used her own recipe for making this dessert. The popular menu in this cafe was frizzy ice jelly, cendol gula merah and ice kacang. This cafe used a self-serving concept, which is the customer can choose their own menu before it was ordered to the owner. Now, I will explain about the business characteristic in Lemak Manis Cafe. Lemak Manis Cafe was categorized as a sole proprietorship business. This is because Lemak Manis Cafe has only one owner, which is Puan Hazimah. This cafe was registered under Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia SSM. For the capital in opening this cafe, Puan Hazimah spent almost 130,000 ringgit Malaysia with her own fund for opening these 2 cafes. In sole proprietorship, the owner have all the responsibility in the company, which is in financing, as he was the only owner in the business. Lemak Manis Cafe serve all these customer that craving for a dessert. The main product from the cafe is ice kacang, ice jelly and cendol gula merah. This type of dessert is suitable for the hot weather and fulfill a craving for the customer. This cafe also categorized as a small business as this cafe doesn't have any employees. The average monthly sale for Lemak Manis Cafe was almost 24,000 ringgit Malaysia in March.
My name is Nur Balki Siti Muhammad Bandi. Today I will present about classification of business item. The first item that Cafe Lemak Manis have is asset. Asset divides into non-current asset and current asset. For non-current asset includes cafe equipment and kitchen appliance. Meanwhile, current asset includes inventory, which is raw material such as jelly and Melaka sugar. Cafe Lemak Manis don't take any liabilities to open the cafe, as she doesn't want to tie down to any debt. Next, I will explain about capital, which she start their business at Aeon with 70,000 ringgit and Mara with 60,000 ringgit. For revenues, the estimate for a daily business at Aeon reached 24,000 ringgit, but at Mara, they just opened their store 3 months ago. Lastly, I will talk about expenses. For Cafe Lemak Manis, they have utility, rent and monthly expenses, which approximately reach 10,000 ringgit. They also shopping their own wet goods once a week.
This slide shows how financial information at Lemak Manis Cafe is recorded step by step. First, transactions. Everything start with daily transaction at the cafe. For example, customer buying drink and desserts, paying suppliers or paying rent and salaries. These activities involve money coming in or going out. Second, source documents. Each transaction must be supported by source document. For example, include receipts, invoices, bills, and payment vouchers. These documents act as proof that the transaction really happened. Third, journals. The information from the source document is recorded in the journals. The transactions are written in chronological order, showing which accounts are affected, such as cash, sales, or expenses. Fourth, financial statements. The information from the journals is summarized into financial statements. This includes the income statements and balance sheets, which help the owner understand the cafe's profit, expenses, and overall financial position. In summary, the recording process helps Lemak Manis Cafe keep accurate records, track performance, and make better business decisions. This slide shows how Lemak Manis Cafe records its daily business activities. Let's go through one by one. First of all is transactions. At Lemak Manis Cafe, transactions happen every day as part of normal operation. These include sales made by customers using cash or card, purchases of ingredients and supplies, payments made to suppliers, and money moving in and out of the bank account. Each transaction involves cash flows, so it must be recorded to show how the businesses earns and spends money. Next is source documents. Every transaction is supported by source document as proof. Sales receipts are generated from the POS system whenever a customer makes a purchase. When the cafe buys goods, supplier receipts and invoice are kept. Bank statements and transfer slips are used to record cash inflows and outflow. These documents help ensure the records are accurate and reliable. After source document, we have journals. So at Lemak Manis Cafe, all transactions are recorded manually every day. Sales and purchases are written into a journal record book to keep track of daily activities. Different journals are used for different transactions, such as a sales journal for customer service and a purchases journal for buying ingredients. This helps keep records organized and easy for review. Lastly is financial statement. At the end of the month, the cafe summarizes all sales figures manually using the journal records. These records are then used to estimate income and prepare tax declaration. This process helps the cafe understand its financial performance and meet reporting requirements.
Now, I'm going to explain about the strengths and weaknesses of recording process regarding Lemak Manis Cafe. This is where the company's internal strengths and weaknesses are factors over which can make controls and changes towards the company in the future. Firstly, let's talk about the strength of recording process in Lemak Manis Cafe. For the first point is, transactions are recorded in systematic ways. For Lemak Manis Cafe, they use manual journal in term to record their business transaction. Through manual journals, they can reduce the risk of missing any transaction as the owner of this cafe choose to record sales by doing it daily. Next is the proper use of source document. The use of source document such as sales receipt, purchase receipt, and invoice can ensure that every transaction can be backed up by written evidence. Because of this, the risk of getting the accounting records inaccurate can be reduced. Another strength is recording process is in Lemak Manis Cafe. Is the use of separate journals in recording the company's finance and expenses. For example, this cafe use sales journals and purchase journal for their business transaction. Because of this, the recording process become clearer where it can reduce the risk of sales and purchase entries being mixed up. Lastly, Lemak Manis Cafe also do a regular check on their business transaction record, which is another strength of its recording process. This allows the owner to identify errors in the records at an early stage before preparing their financial statement. Now, I'm going to continue to talk about the weaknesses of recording process regarding Lemak Manis Cafe. First of all, the weaknesses of Lemak Manis Cafe in the recording process is the use of a manual recording system. This is because it takes a lot of time in order to record every sales and purchases of this cafe. This shows that manual system that used by Lemak Manis Cafe in the recording process reduce business efficiency as it can slow down the business operation. Next, another weaknesses of recording process by Lemak Manis Cafe is manual storage of document. All sources of document such as receipts, invoice that stored manually in physical file can lead to the risk of document being misplaced or damaged. Moreover, limited financial group potential also one of the weaknesses Lemak Manis Cafe had due to its use on manual accounting system. This limitation prevent the business to expanding more of their business operation as manual system do not have advanced financial system which can be difficult in handling bigger transactions. And lastly, the weaknesses of recording process in Lemak Manis Cafe is the limitation on expertise and management, which can lead to inefficient, poor financial analysis and record transaction. This is because lacks of skill in interprets financial data can lead to errors in financial reporting. In conclusion, sole proprietorship is an appropriate business structure for Lemak Manis Cafe, especially as a small business enterprise. Under this form of ownership, all profit earned by the business can be considered as Lemak Manis Cafe personal income. This allows the owner to benefit from relatively lower tax obligation compared to other business structure such as partnership or companies. Because of this, it helps Lemak Manis Cafe to have a suitable financial position, especially for a small business operation. Furthermore, the owners of this cafe also have full authority towards the business decisions and operation. This complete controls enables the owner to manage expenses effectively where the business can continue to grow. In addition, the sole proprietorship is more suitable for Lemak Manis Cafe business structure as it is more flexible in terms of managing the operation. That's all from us. Thank you.